Hi everyone, my name is Victoria DL and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am sharing with you a showcase which is the beautiful Floral Die Set from Tonic Studios. And this is a gorgeous showcase here. We've got two die sets. They come on magnetic sheets in your clear wallets. So they fit straight into the A5 storage folders. Apologies for the little glare there. On this one you have a beautiful rose, and that would be absolutely gorgeous paper pieced. You have various sentiments that actually deboss into the centre here. So what have we got? We've got On Your Day, and we've got Just For You. And then on this other set here we've got a beautiful bird and a bumblebee, and this gorgeous daffodil here, and you've got Be Happy, which is a gorgeous deboss greeting there, and Thank You. And you have a backing plate as well, so you would, you know, cut your backing plate out to go in here and then deboss. So I've actually cut the rose out today. And my plan is to just do a little colouring. I'm not a colourist by any stretch of the imagination. I enjoy colouring for myself. But today I'm going to be using the Nouveau alcohol pens, which many of you will have. So we've cut the rose out here in the black, and then we've cut the backing plate out in the white. Now obviously with alcohol pens and Nina cardstock would be suitable, any kind of colouring card. This is just an ultra smooth card that I have in my stash, which is suitable for this demonstration. So I'm just putting a little adhesive on the back here, and then I'm just going to place that down there. Don't put too much glue on because, you know, it will show, and then it will ruin where you're going to put your pen. So I'll put that down there. There we go. And then let me remove the glue from my hand before we get it everywhere. There we go. And now, this is how I colour, but you'll all have your own way of colouring. Like I said, I am not a colourist by any stretch of the imagination, but I just thought that this really lended itself to be coloured. So I'm using the Nouveau alcohol pens here. I'm using 375, which is plum tomato. I'm using Tiger Lily 374, and I'm using the pink grapefruit 373. So those are a nice colour family together. 373, 374 and 375. For the leaves I am using 410 Parisian lime. Then we've got pea pod, which is 412, and then we've got the vine leaf, which is 416, and again they're a lovely family together. So what I tend to do is work at a petal or two at a time, and I go in with my lightest colour, now I do apologise if I get my head in here, because I do get carried away when I'm colouring and then I forget what I'm doing. I think that's like the majority of us that like to colour and doodle. So now we have the base down, and that's quite wet. Then I go personally with my darkest shade, and I'm actually just going to go across the bottom here just randomly how I want it. Then I will go in with the middle shade, the 374, and I will just go in a circular motion and blend that line out just like that, and I'll just take that a little bit higher. Then I will go back in with the 373, which is your lightest colour again, and go along the line of there and blend out again. So you've got your graduation of your colour there. Now sometimes I will go back in again and I'll add a little bit more colour where I want it. and then back in with my medium pen again, just to blend the lines out, and then I'll go back in with the lightest pen again. Like I say, this is completely up to you. This is your project. So I'm just going to go ahead now and colour away, and we will catch up at the end of this video. So now we're going to move on to the greens. So put my lids back on to make sure that the air doesn't get to those and dry them out. And now we're going to move on to the 410, the 412 and the 416. Again, we're going to put the base layer down. We're also going to use a 403. And what we're going to do is we're going to go with the 416, and we're just going to add a little bit of darkness just there at the tips. Then we're going to go in with the 412 and we're going to blend that out. Then we're going to go with the 410. And then on the tips, I'm just going to go in with the 403. And just blend that out. I'm going to go back in again with the darkest. Go back in with the 412. Just to blend that out. And then I'm going to go with a little of the 410 and then tickle with that yellow. So let's do the ones down here. So we're going to go in again with the 410. I'm actually going to colour in these. I have no idea if they're leaves or just in the design, but I've decided for me they're going to be leaves. So then we want to go in with the 416. I mean, these could just be leaves from the flower. They don't necessarily have to be leaves, but for me they're going to be leaves. Again, we blend that out. And then we're going to go in with the 410 just to there. And then add the yellow. So again, just a tiny little bit at the base. Green. And then we're going to blend them out. So, leaves be there. Go in with the green there, and the green there, and then we want to go in with the yellow just there. Twistle that round, and we're going to go in with the 416 there. Remove the 410 there, and then the yellow. I think we might just do that again. So now we're going to go in with the light light green. Just like that. And then we're going to go in with the 12. And then we're going to go in with the 10. And then we're going to go in with the yellow. And I think we're going to leave it at that. So let's put our lids on. So there's one I've created. Here's one I've created earlier where I've added this sentiment and inked around the edges, and then I've gone in with a fine liner pen, a very fine liner pen there, and I've gone in with the deboss and just followed it round with my pen. But you can see both very similar. I've also coloured one in here with Aquaflows, and basically I've used the Aquaflows for these. So we've got the lemon zest, we have the mango mimosa, and we also have that spiced ginger. So we've with the darkest colour blended out then with this centre pen here, and the lighter pen is this one here. And then for the greens we have used fresh green, and we've used the sliced kiwi for this part here. And then we've just debossed into a satin card, and we actually cut the backing plate again in the gold mirror. So these are ready now to be placed onto a card, which we'll do shortly. So we're back now. We've got a few things ready to create the card that we're going to make. So we've got a card blank here. It's 6 inches across, and it's 6 inches in length and 5 inches across, so it's 5 by 6, and it's just a homemade card blank. We've got a white layer here which we're going to ink up. Then we've got, I was going with this design, and then it still works, but we're kind of covering this part up because the topper's going to go on here like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this inky bit. So I'm just putting a piece of card down there just to protect my desk. And we're going to go and we're going to use the cornflower blue embellishment mousse. And we're just going to take a small amount. So maybe that much, not much, and we're going to put that in some water. So I've just got this little dish here, and I'm just going to mix that up just so it's like a paint. So it just dissolves. You could add a little warm water to help it dissolve a little quicker. I've just got some water from my Nouveau spray bottle, which is always to hand. And just mix that till it's like a paint We are only going to be using a little bit of it, so I've not made a huge amount here. There we go, it's starting to dissolve now. And I think that'll be fine for what we need it for. But you just keep going around till you've dissolved it all. There we go. Oh, still some there, isn't there? There we go. Stuck to my brush. Right, so we'll leave that to one side for a minute. We'll find a piece of tissue. There we go. Now, for this I'm going to use the Nouveau Hybrid ink pad, and it's the Polar Ice. I'm then going to use these brand new brushes. They're Nouveau brushes, ink blending brushes, and they're amazing. If you haven't tried these yet, you really must. To go through stencils are just fantastic. But we're just going to do a little bit of inking. We'll just get a little bit of ink on the brush there. And then we're just going to go around the edges in a circular motion. You're not going to see it at first, but just keep going round. And round. You might not pick it up on camera, but it's a beautiful light blue. Just round the edges. Just makes it so easy with this brush. My brush is still a bit damp because I was using it yesterday and cleaned it, and so I don't know whether you can actually pick that up on camera, but we are getting a nice blue edge around here. So I'll add a bit more, and around the edges there, and a bit more. These will work, these brushes will work with all your ink pads you'll have in your stash, but they work brilliantly with these hybrids. Excuse me. So add a bit more, just building it up as you go. You should be able to, I hope on camera now, see the blue coming through. There we go. So I'm quite happy with that. I don't really want much more colour than that. So if I turn that over, hopefully you'll see the blue there. And we'll put the lid on. And the beauty with these brushes, if you keep one for each colour that you have, just lock them away till they click, and they're not contaminating any other brush that you have in your stash. So if you're somebody that never cleans the brushes out very often, it doesn't matter, because they're in there, they're not going to touch anything else. And they sit on your desk, and they're no harm, they're not in the way, and they keep everything clean. So those are the Nouveau brushes, and they're available on the website if they interest you. So now we've got this piece of card, excuse me, and we've mixed this Nouveau mousse, and all I'm going to do is have a little bit on my brush, and then I'm just going to knock the brush with a tool so we get some light splatters onto our project, just like that. And that's all I want, really. I don't want any more than that. So you could actually put this mix that you have here into a little spritzer bottle and use that again for another time. So we've now got that, so put that piece of card to one side, make sure we're all tidy. There we go. I'm just going to make sure that that's dry, which it is. And then I'm going to place this onto the card blank with foam pads. So I'm going to put some 2mm foam pads on the back. Put those on there. There we go. Place that on our card blank, making sure we've got an even border all the way around, like that. Then we're going to add this layer with some 2mm foam pads. Put one in the middle there. Move those out the way. And then this is going to go to the top of the card, but leaving a fine border around the edge. So we have that there. And then this is the topper I've coloured in with the alcohol pens that we did earlier. And that is going to go on the card just about there. So I'm just going to add a 2mm foam pad to the bottom. And then I'm going to add another 3mm to the bottom. And then the rest of the card can have some 2mm. So one there, and we shall cut one in half. So there we go. Cut that one in half. And there's a bit more depth here because obviously we're going to have to climb up off this layer that we've put foam pads on. So it'll just balance out. And then we're going to put him around about there. And then, like we did on the card earlier and I showed you, I've gone in to the debossed with the fine liner pen and just followed the sentiment, and then with the back away from me I've gone round the edges there with the Nouveau Tiger Lily, which is the 374, which we use for the middle pen of colouring. I'll put some foam pads on the reverse and we're just going to place that in the centre there. And then to finish off, we are going to add some Nouveau Silver Rain Pure Sequins, Pure Sheen Sequins even. I'll put my teeth in the right way. And we're going to put one there. You get different sizes in here, so you get a smaller one in here as well. I quite like the small ones. So, we had a small one there. A small one here. And tiny one. Come on, Vicky. There we go. A tiny one down there. So we'll just glue those in place. A little wet glue and just rest the sequin on top. That will dry clear. There we go. Turn that one round there. One there. And I think we'll have one there. There we go. And that's the card finished. There's one that I made earlier, almost identical. And then I showed you the Daffodil Topper that I created earlier, and this is it mounted on a card blank. And I've used the Daisy Lace layering set, which many of you will probably have in your stash. I've laid it up using one of the stencils, or Tonic stencil. You're going in with very pale lemon ink pad, which is Nouveau, and again using these blender brushes. Went through the stencil and you get a lovely even coverage. I've gone from dark down to light, and then I've mounted that onto your basic layering oval set. Use some of our beautiful speciality green paper there with leaf patterning, and then just use some green ribbon as an embellishment. But we've used the Aquaflow pens, and the pens we have actually used are, and I will share them with you again so that you can all make a note. Put that card down. We have used the Lemon Zest, which is 907N, the Mango Mimosa, which is 918. We've used the Spice Ginger, which is 900N, and then we've used the Aqua Shimmer, and it's the Midas Touch, which is a 881. And we've just added that I don't know whether the camera can pick it up, but just here to the centre outwards in some little strokes. We then cut the die set again and put an overlayer over the top once we'd coloured in, and we cut it again in the gold mirror, and then we did the sentiment in a satin gold, and that's left a beautiful debossed sentiment there. So I think that's a beautiful card. You can send that to anybody. What a beautiful get well card that would be as well. So those are the 3 cards that we've made, and that's the finished one that we've made from scratch. So these sets will be available direct from Tonic Studios. I will put all my links up. You can purchase through my links. They are affiliated. It doesn't add any extra cost to you whatsoever, but I do make a small commission, which does help my crafting, and I appreciate very much for those of you that have used my links in the past. It's very much appreciated. That, you know, it really is very kind of you. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I don't know if it was a little video, but I hope you like that. Something a bit different for me with colouring. Like I say, I'm not a colourist, but I do enjoy doing it for myself. And if it helps anybody on the journey to colouring, then that makes my day. So I'd just like to say thanks very much for joining me again today, and I hope to see you for the next showcase or designer's choice or kit. So take care for now. Bye.